What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Raggatek, and more from Guigoo's 2016 triple album. Luca is lurking about, are you coming? And yes, we're going to listen to a tune from the yellow vinyl. So to recap, I think I talked about this before, but it has a green, a yellow, and a red vinyl. The green vinyl has roots, instrumentals, and samples. The yellow vinyl features a raga meets dancehall type of sound, and then the red vinyl is a mixture of mainstream, hardcore, or Frenchcore and raga samples and Raggatek. So yeah, this one is a tune which has a bit of a dancehall vibe. I see on the inner sleeve, where again you can see Guigoo himself at a very boisterous event, but he mentions that the sample from this track, Gimmi Some Bass, comes from Beenie Man. That's a name I know. I've heard that name in the world of reggae, but I don't think I don't have any of his material in my collection, so I don't know specifically what song this comes from, but perhaps a tune called Gimmi Some Bass, or at least a tune with that lyric. But yes, let's listen to it. This is Gimmi Some Bass by Guigoo on Raggatek Power, a French label, and this is from his triple vinyl Catch Me If You Can in 2016. I love that like xylophone melody in the background.
Give me some bass when I sing something first. Me got some. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh, the big fat is on a me. It's one them flesh and them know me. And them argument show me. That boy get wrong. And the big fat is on a me. It's one them flesh and them know me. And them argument.
I will say the very end was like quite stripped down. You don't normally hear a Raggatek tune drop down to literally like just the kick drum, although it did have that final little flare at the very end. But yeah, I love it. I enjoy the vocals, which are proper vocals. It's not just a sample, meaning there is that section where he's speaking, where we do hear "Gimme some bass," something about like, all right, to start, give me some bass, and then essentially we'll go from there. But I do enjoy his sung vocal. It has a very melodic quality, and I like the way it's used in the track. And I will say, there's some different sonic elements that I was really keying in on. First, we have that, it's sort of like an alien sound, but there was a bit of an alarm or siren type of sound, and in fact at one point there was both at the same time. It was like this alien spaceship or UFO type of sound with a more police type siren in the background. Then there was one section where the alien type sound almost sounded like a theremin, like a proper theremin, which if you don't know, it's like this weird instrument where you don't actually touch it, but it's like the waves, or I don't know if they're radio waves, but the way you move your hands like makes the frequency and the pitch change. So it sounded a bit like that. But in the middle section, maybe like 40% to 70% through the track, there was this keyboard run that started lower, and then it was like flourishing, in the final bar. Then it got a bit higher. So I really enjoyed that element, maybe most of all. And definitely I enjoyed the way the bass line, it had a steady pulse to it, but then it would drop down low and get heavier for the final bar of the measure, and then it would do those staggered percussive rolls into the next measure. So just a really well composed tune. It's fast, it's driving, it's Raggatek at its best. So I can't wait to go through this whole compilation. As I said, there are 3 records, green, yellow, and red. I think I've reacted to 1 from the green, 2 from the yellow now, none from the red. And interestingly, there's a track on here called Marijuana, and there's a track on the recent 2 EPs from Vandal on his Chaotic Sound System, one of which is called Marijuana Remix. And I think it's a remix of the track on this compilation. It uses the same sample, and I think even a bit of the same melody, so my assumption is this was the original Raggatek version, but I think they're both drawing on a pre-existing sample or vocal, but then I think Vandal remixed it last year in 2024, so I'll try to do those on the same day. It'll be a nice tandem. Do let me know what you think, and Luca the Ridiculous Cat and I will see you next time. Peace.